He wasn't my son, but I raised him like one. I never planned to be a father. Not like this. It started on a Thursday morning, just after sunrise. I was pouring coffee when my phone buzzed. A number I didn't recognize. I almost ignored it. But I didn't. Hello. Is this Mr. Keod? Yes. I'm sorry to inform you, your friend Ton passed away early this morning. The rest of our words were a blur: cardiac arrest, sudden, unresponsive. I sank into a chair, holding the phone to my ear like it would bring him back. Ton. My best friend since university. The man who gave me my first real job, who stood by me during my worst years. Gone. And then she said something that made everything stop. His son, Dami, there's no next of kin listed. You're the emergency contact. At the time, Dami was 7. A quiet, soft-spoken boy who never made trouble. His mother had passed during childbirth. Ton raised him alone. I'd seen them together countless times, at birthdays, cookouts, lazy Sunday visits. But I was never Uncle Keod. To Dami, I was just daddy's friend. I picked him up from the hospital the same day. He didn't cry. He didn't speak much either. Just clutched a small backpack and looked out the car window like he was watching a life that didn't belong to him anymore. When we got to my flat, he sat on the edge of the guest bed and didn't move. I brought him food. He didn't eat. I told him he could talk to me about anything. He just nodded. That night, I sat in the living room staring at the ceiling, wondering what I was supposed to do. I wasn't his father. I didn't know how to raise a kid, especially one with grief stitched into every part of him. But I also knew what it felt like to be alone. I couldn't let that happen to him. The first few weeks were hard. He wouldn't sleep unless I left the hallway light on. He kept a pair of worn-out shoes beside his bed because he said his dad told him to always be ready. He didn't smile. Not once. Then one Saturday morning, I found him in the kitchen, trying to pour cereal but spilling it everywhere. "You hungry?" I asked, grabbing a towel. He nodded. "Let's do it together." That morning we made pancakes. Burned the first batch. He laughed when I flipped one too high and it landed on the floor. It was the first time I'd heard his voice in days. We ate together, sticky fingers and syrup smiles. And in that moment, something shifted. Not completely. But enough. Over the next year, I learned how to be present. I learned how to fold school forms into his backpack, how to fix a wobbly science project the night before it was due, how to hug him tightly when he had a nightmare and didn't want to talk about it. I also learned that grief comes in waves. Some days, he would be fine, talkative, curious, eager to help in the kitchen. Other days, he would shut down completely. I never forced him. Just sat near, close enough for him to feel safe. I let silence be enough. At school events, other parents would ask, "Are you his dad?" "No," I'd say at first. "I'm just helping out." But over time, the answer changed. "Yes. He's mine." One evening, 2 years in, we sat watching a movie when Dami turned to me. "Do you miss my dad?" I nodded. "Every day." He looked down at his hands. "Do you think he'd be mad that I live with you now?" My chest tightened. "No, Dami. I think your dad would be grateful. I'm proud of you." He was quiet for a moment. Then he leaned in and rested his head on my shoulder. "I'm glad it was you. Raising Dami wasn't easy. There were days I made mistakes, days I lost my patience, or said the wrong thing. But I always came back. Always apologized. Always tried again. And he did too. Now he's 12. Taller. Smarter than I ever was at that age. He calls me Pops now, not because I asked him to, but because one day, It just slipped out. And he smiled when I didn't correct him. I never planned to be a father. But love has a strange way of finding you where you are and planting roots where you didn't think life could grow again. He wasn't my son. But I raised him like one. And now, I can't imagine a life without him in it.